Hi there, and thank you for joining us for this webinar on how to use your CRM from your inbox. My name's John Carini, and I'll be giving the webinar today. Happy to be here. I see some of you are already looking at the comments and entering comments, and that's great. If you do have questions along the way or you'd like to make comments, just put them in the comments section in the YouTube video, and I'll actually bring them up and try to get to them. So looks like Bailey's here and Mark is here. So thanks for chiming in. Again, if you do have questions along the way, I will actually try to answer them in real time as we go along. And of course, the obligatory, please subscribe and like this video. So if you do get a chance, please subscribe and like this video. So I'll be giving a brief presentation, and then we'll get right into live demos on how to use CRM from your inbox, whether that be Salesforce, our own iCRM, Dynamics, Zoho, or whatever you're using. So again, before we start, I'd like to ask a few questions. What email app are most of you using? And if you could put that in the comments, I would really appreciate. What email app application are you using? Is it Gmail or is it Salesforce? Please let us know, and then what I'll do is I will try to address your needs based on what email app you're using. So we have a lot of Gmail so far. Bailey, Abject, Brendan. Oh, here's an Outlook, another Gmail. Okay, great. So just keep on entering that, and as we go along, I'll make sure that I address both Gmail and Outlook for all you guys. But that's great. Oh, someone's using Outlook and Gmail. So I actually do that. So we're very much alike. And then the other question I wanted to ask before we get started is, what CRM are you using? Are most of you using Salesforce? Or is anyone using our own CRM or Dynamics or NetSuite, Zoho? Please type that in as well. So what CRM are you using? If you could put it in the comments, that would be fantastic. So it looks like we have quite a good polling here. Lots of people putting in their answers. I see Salesforce a few times. That's great. A lot of you using Salesforce. Okay, fantastic. So just continue to do that. And if you have specific questions, again, in that same comments area where you put in Gmail or Outlook, just ask the question and I'll try to get to it. And it's no problem at all. There's a Zoho person. So again, brief slideshow, and then we'll get right into the live demo, and I'll be showing how to use CRM from your inbox in both Gmail and Outlook, connecting to all different CRMs, mostly Salesforce, though, it seems, based on your comments. So just a little bit about the company first. The company's iEnterprises. We've been around since the 1990s, which is a very long time for a software company. We've won all sorts of awards over the years. And believe it or not, the company was founded on the concept that CRM, then it was called contact management, or SFA, should be integrated with your email and calendar. And we've been doing that from the beginning. So we've gotten quite good at it. And it only seems like the big guys like Salesforce and Dynamics, they've actually maybe gotten worse at it. I don't know. I don't want to bash them. They're great products. But anyway, so here's our product line. So we're really looking mostly here at the connectors. So the connectors are what connects Gmail and Outlook with your CRM, whether that be Salesforce, Dynamics. We support Oracle, Sugar, NetSuite, Zoho. And then we have our own iCRM product, which I'll show a little bit about as we go along. But iCRM includes the connector in the base price. Unlike if you have Salesforce, you actually have to buy the connector from us to get the real CRM from your inbox experience. However, iCRM includes that and kind of everything we offer in our CRM all at one price. So I'll talk a little bit about that later as well. And then we have another product, which I'm not planning to show, but basically it's called Social Insights. And what it does is it lets you go to any LinkedIn profile and add the person to Salesforce or to iCRM or to Dynamics, whatever CRM you're using, as a lead or a contact. And it actually pulls the real work email address, which is cool. Like if most people in their LinkedIn profile just have their personal email address, and this thing actually manages to pull the work email address with 95% accuracy and then save it as a lead in Salesforce or whatever you're using. So basically go to any LinkedIn profile and make a lead out of it. It's pretty cool. And again, it gets the work email address, which is way better than LinkedIn Navigator. Anyway, we've won all these awards over the years. We have customers, big and small. I'm guessing there's mostly smaller organizations on right now, and that's absolutely fine. Obviously, these are some of the larger companies that use our products, Fortune 500, and so on. So you're in the right place if you're a smaller company as well. So just to get started, what are some problems with CRM and why does CRM fail? Well, it's difficult to use. It's time consuming. There's lots of data entry, sometimes dual entry, requires training, requires an army of consultants to get going. Basically, all this leads to a lack of adoption, which is the underlying problem that occurs from all these issues. So that's why they fail. And I believe that using Salesforce or whatever CRM you're using from your inbox actually solves these problems. There's a study, and I actually should put up a slide on this, that indicated that most people spend between 30 and 40 hours a week in their inbox. So if you're spending 30 to 40 hours a week in your inbox, then your CRM better be there too. Otherwise, you're not using it. That's my personal opinion. And this study seemed to validate that. So basically, we're making CRM easy to use from your inbox. It saves time. It's super simple. Automates your data entry. It avoids dual entry. Has the same exact workflow as email, and that's where you're spending most of your day, as I mentioned. So you're interacting with your customers and leads via email, and at the same time, you're actually using Salesforce or whatever CRM you're using. And this means that it basically is easy to use and it results in adoption, which means you'll have CRM success. So that huge investment you've put in your CRM then can be reaped because you're actually using CRM in your inbox, which means you're using it. If it's not in your inbox, in my opinion, you're not using it at all. Okay, so that's the idea. You do everything from either Gmail or Outlook. You save emails when they come in, but you also get information on what's going on with your customers and leads as you're interacting with them. So when you do answer an email or you do make a phone call, you know exactly what to say and what will get you to the best possible outcome with your lead or customer. And we let you create leads. And we actually, when you create leads from our product, we're taking some information from LinkedIn and pre-populating it for you, making it easy. I'll show that in a second. There's email templates and so on. I'll also mention there is a background sync. So most of what I'm showing will be in the user interface and actually inside of Gmail, in your inbox, if you will, or inside of Outlook. And there is a background sync as well. So if you just want your emails to sync automatically in the background, you can do that. And this stuff applies to the calendar too. So if you're using the Google Calendar or an Outlook calendar, you have full access to the CRM information from there. And then there's a background sync for that too. So basically, if you like to sync your calendar from Salesforce to Gmail or Outlook, you can do that. And from it's two-way sync if you like, or you can configure it to be a one-way sync. Anyway, that goes for calendar and emails. You can actually set up this synchronization. So why are our products better? Well, they just are. No, I'm just kidding. They're better because they're super flexible and like especially with respect to the Gmail connector, all the competitors use something known as a Chrome extension. Chrome extensions install inside your Chrome browser, and that's that's not the best approach because you actually have to install it physically on your PC. If you have more than one Chrome extension, it actually they get in the way of each other. They actually try to use the same footprint on the screen, and that just doesn't work. So ours is a native solution. It's in Gmail. It's actually a Gmail add-on, which means that it is not a Chrome extension. It actually installs in the Gmail server and works everywhere Gmail works, including mobile. So I'll actually demo that. You can see how you can use CRM from your inbox on mobile as well. And there's nothing to install locally, and some other things that make us better. We charge only for the users you need. So if you have 1,000 users in your Salesforce environment, but only 50 need our connector, that's absolutely fine. If you bought the competing product from somebody like Salesforce, they would want to charge you for every single user in your organization. We just don't do that. We're no nonsense. We include social insights in it. So when you bring up email messages, you get LinkedIn profiles and things like that automatically. And basically, we're keeping you in your email so you can do everything right from there. And we have one price for all our products. And we do not try to upsell you. We don't say, oh, this product costs X. And now, oh, you wanted tires with that car? Now it's 5X. No, we do not do that. Instead, we give you one price at the outset and we give you everything we got for that price. So just a little bit more about why our native Gmail solution is better than a Chrome extension. Gmail add-ons always work. Chrome extensions not reliable. Chrome extensions conflict with others. Ours works with all other add-ons, and there's no conflict. It's difficult to deploy Chrome extensions because they get installed on your local PC, whereas the Gmail add-ons actually go in the cloud, and it's the more modern approach. We'll see it in just a second. There's also a huge security risk with Chrome extensions. They can see everything you're doing in your browser, including when you go to your bank account. They can actually see that, whereas ours is actually in Gmail, so we're only seeing the stuff that you want us to send to Salesforce or whatever CRM you're using. And we're not even seeing it. We're actually passing it directly from the Gmail server to Salesforce or whatever CRM you're using, instead of this Chrome extension that actually looks at everything and inspects everything you do in your browser. Also, Chrome extensions don't work on mobile. We have full mobile capabilities. Also, Chrome extensions, of course, only work in Chrome. Ours actually works in any browser. So you can use Edge or Safari or whatever you like. And inside of Gmail, our connector will show because it's a native Gmail add-on in the case of Gmail. Very similar for Outlook too. But the connector is always there. You can even go to like an airport kiosk, log into your Gmail, and it'll be there. And that's because it's inside your Gmail. It's not on your local PC installed in Chrome. Okay, we're almost done here. So like a little bit about Einstein Activity Sync and us versus them. So this is mostly about the background sync, but basically the Salesforce, I know there's a lot on this screen, but the Salesforce native solutions require Google Workspace. Ours actually works with any Gmail or Outlook address. Has to be set up by the administrator. You can set up ours typically. Also, is deployed through Chrome extensions, which we already discussed. Ours is a native add-on and installed locally on each PC. Ours is installed in the cloud. Doesn't work on mobile devices. Ours does. Works only in Chrome. Ours works in any browser. And then this is really interesting. With the advent of Einstein Activity Sync, the Lightning Sync that Salesforce previously provided is actually gone. And with respect to the background sync, the synced emails that they save are actually saved in Amazon AWS and outside of Salesforce.com. They're actually unencrypted, whereas ours saved directly in Salesforce with full encryption. The email sync only saves 6 months worth of emails for some strange reason, and then they get deleted. And with us, emails, when you automatic sync them or save them manually, they basically stay as long as you want. And you can actually pay them extra, $50 a month extra, and they'll save your emails for 24 months, but then they delete them anyway, whereas we save them as long as you want. And there's more. The synced emails don't show on reports with Einstein Activity Sync, which is really odd. Most reports don't include them because it's outside of your normal Salesforce environment. And ours just show on all the normal reports, all the normal activity reports. And then you can't delete synced emails. If authorized, you can delete them when you use ours. And all your synced emails are deleted if you cancel your Einstein subscription. If you cancel our subscription, you get to keep all your previously synced emails. It doesn't work with recurring calendar items. Ours does. Synced emails, calendar attachments aren't saved. Ours does. Takes up to 24 hours to sync. Ours syncs actually every 5 minutes. The social media integration we include and they don't. And this thing costs $50 per user per month. And ours, if you buy an annual contract, is $19.95 per user per month. So we're trying to be straightforward. Also, we have a month-to-month plan. Salesforce doesn't let you do that. They make you sign the big contract. We let you go month to month for $24.95 per user per month. And you can cancel online at any time. You don't have to call some 800 number and wait on hold for 3 hours. You can just cancel if you want. Not that we want you to. We make it easy because we're confident that once you try our product, you'll like it and you'll just keep it. Again, you must purchase for all the users with Salesforce. For us, you only need to purchase for the ones that absolutely need it. Okay, and then just a little bit about iCRM. So we have our own CRM that competes with Salesforce. And if you're tired of Salesforce and you want something that's easy to use and has everything, including CRM from your inbox, you might want to give iCRM a look. We actually import your data and set and configure iCRM at no additional cost. You don't need to hire an army of consultants or get a Salesforce partner to help you install it and pay them thousands and thousands of dollars. We just do it with you and for you. And believe it or not, the price for this is only about $30 per user per month for the unlimited edition. There's no enterprise edition. There's no unlimited edition. We don't try to upsell you, unlike our competition, where they get you in at some low price and then a month later they literally raise your price by a factor of 5x. Ours has one price and that's it. You get everything, including the connector for Gmail and Outlook with it at no additional cost. So with that, let's get into a live demo. And most of you said you use Gmail. I promise I'll get to Outlook, but I'll start with Gmail. And let me get this out of here. Hey, there I am on the big screen. And I'll share my screen just like that. And you can see here is my Gmail inbox. And over at the right-hand side, these are the Gmail add-ons, right? And here's the one for Salesforce. And when I click on it, you can see it gives me an overview of kind of what's going on, what's my day like in Salesforce. Before I really get started in exploring the connector itself, let's have a look at how to install it. The easiest way to install it, if you haven't done so already, is to just click on this little plus sign at the bottom here that says Get Add-ons. And if you search for Salesforce, if you're using Salesforce, oops, if I could only spell, you'll see Salesforce Connector comes up. And there we are. You can see there's over 175,000 installs at this point, which is quite a few. And it has all sorts of good reviews and things. Anyway, you click on it, and then there's a button to install it. Once it's installed, and whatever CRM you use, if you use Zoho, right, you do search for the Zoho connector, and so on. Right. Install that. Whatever you use, we can help you. Okay, so once it's installed, this icon shows, and the first time you open it, you'll have to log into Salesforce or whatever CRM you're using from the connector itself. And what we're doing in that case is we're actually using Salesforce security. So we're logging into Salesforce from within Gmail or Outlook, whatever you're using. And then we're able to honor the Salesforce security paradigm, and you're only able to see and do the things from the connector that you were already allowed to do in Salesforce.com. So with that, when you open this up, it'll show you today's tasks. It shows you some recently viewed information from Salesforce. You can actually click, in this case, and browse your Salesforce records and like search for records in here and edit them and open them. But where it really gets powerful is when you open an email message from someone that's already in Salesforce.com. So here I got a message from James Person. James is asking for product information, and you can see as soon as I open this message from James, the right-hand side of my sidebar here with the Salesforce connector for Salesforce, I should say, actually refreshes. And it's detected that James, the person that sent this email message, is in Salesforce.com. And James works for this company called Grand Hotels. This is clickable. I could see more information about Grand Hotels. Here's his phone number, email, and so on. And then down below, if I turn on the social insights here, before I log the message, we'll scroll down. You'll see it brings up James's LinkedIn profile, which is clickable. And then in the related records, I can see everything about James. Here's all the opportunities I have for he and his company, any cases, any open or closed cases even will show here, any campaigns, and so on. So all the related items, in this case, we're connected to Salesforce from Salesforce.com, show at the bottom here. And I can click on these and actually open up, for example, the opportunity here and see more details. I can even add an opportunity right here. But in its simplest form, you'll probably just be logging the message. So let me go back to the inbox one more time, and we'll do this as if we started from scratch. I'll open this message. I know it's the same message. You can see on the right-hand side, it detected, again, that James Person, the sender of this message, was found in Salesforce. And in its simplest form, I could just click this add button and log the email to Salesforce.com in this case. So that's it. The message is now saved in Salesforce.com with that single click of a button. And you can see it's actually reflected here. It says email added to Salesforce in this case. So that's in its simplest form how you might send it. Keep in mind, you could have automatic sync turned on. And if the sync had run, when you opened this message, it would probably say email has already, it would probably just say like this, email added to Salesforce.com. And then if I want to see that, in fact, this email really was saved, I'll click open, and then it opens the actual record in the right-hand side here. And then if I want, I can do open in full screen, and now it takes me to Salesforce.com and actually to the email message in Salesforce, and you can see it is actually saved here, right? So that's the actual email message that we just saved in Salesforce, just like that. So one more time, I'll go back, I'll open this message again, and you'll see, again, it detects that this message was from James. And of course, because we saved the message, it's already there. But maybe we wanted to save it not against the contact. By default, it saves against the contact because that's what it detected up here. Maybe we want to save it against something else. And I can just click this link button, and it pops up, and I can pick from all the Salesforce modules, including custom modules. And custom fields and custom modules are just automatically supported here. And in this case, it's showing all the open opportunities for the company that James here works for, which was Grand Hotels and Resorts, if you remember. And I can actually select an opportunity. And if I do that, now the message is actually saved against this opportunity that I selected. So if you just add the email, it saves against the contact or the lead, whatever is automatically detected. And then when you click link this email, you can link it to anything else. There's one more option I should discuss before we explore some more features, and that's the mark email thread option. And all that really means is if I click this, I click the mark thread, now all future replies to this message will be automatically logged against the opportunity, in this case, that I selected, so that all the messages in this thread are then saved from here on out. So that's what the marked thread functionality is. That's kind of like a hybrid of the automatic sync. The automatic sync just matches email addresses and syncs it, but the marked thread functionality then syncs only the messages you mark, if that makes sense. If you do have questions, by the way, again, in the YouTube comments, throw the questions in there and I'll try to get to them. Okay, so a little bit more. I mentioned there's the social media links down here, and then there's opportunities. These are the opportunities that are related to Grand Hotels, which is where James works. So I can really get the full perspective of what's going on with James before I reply to this message, right? And then there's cases and so on. If I want to look at this medium deal, because this is what this email message is about, perhaps, I can just open up the opportunity right here in Gmail without leaving my inbox. So here it is, right? And I can see all the details about it. So every single field from the opportunity is actually surfaced here. I can even edit it right here if I want to edit this opportunity. Maybe in the email message, they said it was an even bigger opportunity. I can put it in edit mode and actually edit the opportunity right here. And all the drop downs and all your custom fields and custom selections, they all just automatically work in here. And that's it. You can do this, click submit, and save your changes to this opportunity right here. So basically, I'm just clicking back here. We're back to the main screen. So that's the idea. You go into your messages, you're able to log them, but more importantly, you're able to see every aspect of this customer relationship right here in your inbox with this message on your screen. Get all the information you need and then reply perhaps to this message in a more appropriate manner, having all that information at your fingertips. Okay. So let's look just a little bit more. And then someone's asking about like a larger contract. Let me throw it. Can we? Yeah, we totally work with larger companies. We have companies with tens of thousands of users, and they're always negotiated separately. They're not like pay with a credit card online or something. If you're a small business, you can just buy it online, but the larger companies always deal with us directly. If you shoot me an email at just sales@ienterprises.com, I'll pick it up myself, and we'd be happy to help you understand the contract costs for a much larger organization. There are discounts and so on. So we hope to work with you on that. Thank you, Catherine. Okay, so I wanted to get the questions in as they come. So there's the question. So back here, again, we're giving you everything about this. There's this reply using email template thing. You can actually then reply to this message using templates, in this case from Salesforce.com. So let's take a look at Outlook now. And I will open my Outlook client. Okay, here it is. And you can see this is an Outlook client on a Mac, but it works with all current Outlook clients. And then it also works with the Outlook web version as well. So if you install our add-in, it's called an add-in for Outlook, you get it working in all the areas that you might need it, which are, again, any current Outlook client, whether it be Mac or Windows, and also any web version of Outlook and Windows. So really quickly, if I open that same message, this is in my Outlook inbox, you can see that that it actually is able to detect and I open the Salesforce connector, you'll see that it detects that the message is there, and the messages can be quickly added just like this if I click log email. So one thing I want to go through too in Outlook, in order to actually get the connector, the easiest way to do it is to do get add-ins. But with respect to larger organizations that Catherine had mentioned, you can deploy it centrally using Exchange if you're Outlook, and you can also deploy it from Gmail if you're the workspace admin for your whole organization, or a part of it if you like. So there's centralized deployment as well. So if you want to test this though, you can just do get add-ins, and then you can type in Salesforce connector. Right, and here it is. And then you can just add it right from here. Once it's added, it will show up at the top here, right? And you can click on it, and it will show the sidebar, much the same as Gmail. One idiosyncrasy with Outlook, I highly recommend that you pin it once you do that. So pinning it means that now if I open another message, right, from, this is the previous one, it'll just automatically show. Otherwise, it would close it and you'd have to reopen it, right? And you can see this is that email that we already added. And then this is a new message. And if we want to log this email, it works exactly the same way in Outlook as it does in Gmail. I just simply click log, and bingo, the message is logged in Salesforce. I can click open, and it'll open that message. Another thing in both Gmail and Outlook, sorry, you can click on open contact also when it detects the contact, and then you can actually edit the contact right here, or you can click open in full screen, which is really handy. It basically will take you to that record directly in salesforce.com, right? And if you want, you can take a look at it in a full screen. So here it's taking me to that record, and here it is. So it's pretty straightforward. Great. So that is, let me go back to Outlook here. So one thing I want to show you really quick too, so it works exactly the same way with our own CRM, which is called iCRM. So you can see here, I have both the Salesforce connector and the iCRM for Outlook connector installed here. And if I click on iCRM, now it shows me pretty much the same type of information. It's actually found James, and he works for this company called Smithson in this case. And all the details about James, including his LinkedIn information and everything, is right down here. So all any opportunities, subscriptions, cases. Now this is coming from iCRM. I'm going to pin it, right? And if I want to add this message to iCRM, again, iCRM is our own CRM. It costs about $30 a month. It includes the connector and everything else we offer in one price. That's it. We don't try to upsell you. But iCRM is very similar to Salesforce. I'm not going to go too much into it, but if I click open contact, again, I can edit the contact right here. Or if I open it in full screen, it takes me to that person in iCRM. I know most of you have not seen iCRM, but it's pretty standard. There's all sorts of objects and custom fields and custom objects. And again, we configure this for you and help you with your data import as you if you sign up for it. So that's just my brief little thing about iCRM. It's a really cool product. So I'm going to go back to Gmail real quick, and let's cover one other use case, and then I'll show mobile too, and some calendar things. So if I get a message from someone that is not in Salesforce or whatever CRM I'm using. So here I've gotten a message from Bill Gates, right? And when I open the message, remember before it had found the person. In this case, it says Bill is not found in Salesforce. And so maybe this is a referral, so it's a new lead. And Bill is very interested in my products. And now I want to add him to Salesforce.com in this case. And if I click add to leads, for example, now it actually brings up the lead form and it actually pulls information from Salesforce.com and LinkedIn, sorry, from Gmail and LinkedIn to help me pre-populate all this information. So the company name in this case came from LinkedIn in this case, and I can, do lead source and so on, and basically submit this, and that's it. So you can add people to Salesforce or whatever CRM you're using right from Gmail or right from Outlook, just like this. It's super easy. So let's try to do mobile real quick. Just give me 1 second. It takes me like a second to set up mobile here. Let's see. All right, give me 1 sec. So I'm on my real iPhone here. Hang on. Okay. All right. Hang on 1 sec. All right, here we go. One more time. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is my real iPhone. It's not a 14 yet, hoping to get one though. And if I go in my Gmail on my iPhone, you'll see that if I open a message, so maybe this is that same message. If I open it up, you'll see down at the bottom here, hopefully you can see at the bottom, all of our add-ins are right here at the bottom. And again, if you're using a Chrome extension, there's no mobile. You don't get this. But if I want to, I can open up the Salesforce connector, for example. And remember, everything that was on the right-hand side in Gmail on my desktop or in the browser, whatever you want to call it, is now right here at the bottom of the connector. And first time I open it, it takes a second. I haven't opened this in a while. But pretty much 100% fidelity in that everything that you can do in Gmail on your browser, you can do right here on mobile. So everything, remember what was on the right-hand side? Same exact stuff is here, right? And you can see this message is already added to Salesforce. Let me go to a different message. I'm going to go to the quote, and then I'll open the Salesforce connector here, and you'll see that it pops up much quicker because I just used it. And then you can see right here, if I want to log this email, I click add, and bingo, I've logged the email right here from my real iPhone, my real mobile device. And that's it. And then I can open it or do everything here that I can do in Gmail in the sidebar. So you pretty much have full fidelity on the mobile device. One more time, I'll go into this message. James is asking for product information. A feature I love on mobile is oftentimes you're out on the road, people ask all sorts of questions, and you need to give them a very detailed reply. And that's not so easy when you on a mobile device, because putting links and PDFs and images and things in email messages is not an easy thing to do on a mobile device. But I have all these email templates set up. So in this case, I will reply using an email template using our connector. And then it shows me the email templates right here. And remember, James was asking for product information. Here's the product information response. And I will click that. And then it really should populate this automatically, but whatever. And then I can just reply to the message. and it will populate the reply with everything needed, like the here we go, compose, create reply, and bingo. Now you can see here's a message. I could put images, there's links, whatever you want in here. I click send and that's it. I've replied to this message with all sorts of different links and everything, just like that. So, that's mobile. Just keep in mind, everything works on mobile. Everything in the connector works on mobile. It's just at the bottom instead of at the side. So hopefully you guys like that. Uh, and let's get into the calendar a little bit. So this is for both Gmail and Outlook. If I go to my calendar, I wish my calendar looked like this, right? Um, and maybe I want to schedule a meeting, right? I can put that in. And I can invite people. So let me invite James, who's my customer, and I can add a Google Meet or whatever and save and send the invitation to my customer. Now, keep in mind, you could have the background sync set up. And what I see oftentimes is people do use the background sync for calendar more than email. They like to sync all their calendar items that pertain to customers, but they don't like to sync each and every email. It's just a little silly to do that sometimes. But anyway, I can like open the sidebar here and then open the meeting. And you can see it works exactly the same way. I won't go into all this, but basically you can just see exactly what's going on with your contact right here. It detected that the invitee is James and that person is in Salesforce. And you can just log the event here in Salesforce or link it to an opportunity, a custom object, whatever you want. And it works exactly the same way in the calendar as it does in email. Again, there is that automatic sync option whereby calendar items created in Salesforce or whatever CRM you're using can just get surfaced in your Outlook or Google Calendar automatically. And then the reverse is true too. So there's like a two-way sync you could set up. But it works exactly the same way. And everything that was on the right-hand side in Gmail and at the bottom of my mobile is all here. And you can, for example, edit any case. A lot of times what happens is you might want to add a case, like maybe you're having a meeting about an issue or something. You can just create the meeting and then create the case right here, just like that. Or maybe you got an email about a problem with the screenshot or whatever, and you can make a case out of the email, for example. It's pretty straightforward. So basically, we're keeping you where you normally work in your inbox and in your calendar, and you're able to use your CRM at exactly the same time, even on mobile. That's the whole idea. So any other questions? Someone's asking a question about deployment, and I think I mentioned it. You can deploy this in mass, and in both Google Workspace, you can deploy it to all your users or a subset. And then also in Outlook through Exchange, you can do that as well. And I covered the calendar. I think that's it. I'll go back to the presentation. Any other questions, please throw them in there. And we're happy to answer them. Give me one sec here. Oops, sorry. Okay, let me go back to the presentation. Okay. And here we are. I already showed this. So if you do have any more questions, please put them in there. So let's just go through the install stuff. So again, to install the Gmail or iCRM connector, you just go to the download the Google Marketplace, the plus sign at the bottom right, you search for Salesforce connector or iCRM, install it, and it just kind of works. You can deploy it in mass and so on. For Outlook, it is from Microsoft AppSource, but it's just get add-ins from Outlook. Or if you're the Exchange admin, you could deploy it in mass as well. The pricing, here's the up-to-date pricing. The connector for Gmail or Outlook with whatever CRM you're using is list at $24.95 per user per month. If you buy annually, it's $19.95. And if you send me an email to sales@ienterprises.com, I'll send you a discount code. So if you're interested. Okay, somebody is asking a question. Says, there are no dumb questions, Brandon. Does the company need multiple Salesforce users to log emails? Yeah, so it really works by email. So you would need to install the connector into the email, like Gmail or Outlook, and we charge by email address, but Salesforce kind of doesn't. So, you could log into Salesforce with whatever login you're using. iCRM, though, we charge by email address too. So we know how that you're connecting to a different email address. So anyway, you could connect, in the case of Salesforce, especially multiple inboxes to one Salesforce account if you really wanted to. Okay, and then we have another question. A couple more, actually. Okay. Can you display contact information to reach large volumes? Yes. That's on the next slide, I promise. I won't forget that. And I wrote down your name too, Catherine, so I'll make sure we get in contact with you. Yeah, is there a recording? So yeah, great question. I should have mentioned that at the very beginning. Thank you so much, Ishmael. So the URL that you're at right now, after the meeting, like a minute after, it becomes a static YouTube video that you can watch at any time. So it's kind of automatically recorded and saved in the same place that you're watching now. Okay, and then, all right, she's got to go to another meeting. Let me get to the next slide. So this is my email address, jcarini@ienterprises.com. I also answer to sales@ienterprises.com. And my phone number is actually on the screen too, 908-679-0000 here in beautiful Chatham, New Jersey, near New York. I'm extension 104, but jcarini@ienterprises.com. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. And if you'd like a formal quote, just need the number of users, and I'm happy to provide that as well. And we're happy to do a live demo if you're a larger organization where we do a one-on-one and we address the very specific needs that you might have. So if this is something you'd like, just shoot me an email, jcarini@ienterprises.com. And with that, I'm going to wrap up. So again, you can get me at sales or jcarini@ienterprises.com. And I will wrap this up. We're a little bit early, which is always great. Everybody have a fantastic day. There's an old picture of me. I think I need to update it. But you guys were fantastic. Thanks for asking all the questions and keeping me going with this. I really appreciate it. Thank you again. Have a fantastic day. And do reach out to me if you need anything at all. We're happy to help. Bye-bye now.